Most of us in this country drink pasteurized milk. Remember, raw milk is milk that's not been pasteurized to kill harmful bacteria. So why are we talking about this, you're wondering? Well, there are actually a number of people out there that are saying that drinking raw milk is actually better than drinking pasteurized milk. But the question is that true or not? This is a really important topic because your health really could be on the line here. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, practicing family physician, on-air health expert and video creator. I'm excited that you're here. This is a super important topic. My source for information here is the CDC. Let's first start by talking about what is pasteurization, like what is pasteurized milk, like what is that deal, okay? So let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about cow's milk, okay? Raw cow's milk, like milk right from the cow, actually can be contaminated with lots of harmful bacteria and germs that can make you super sick, okay? In fact, raw milk is one of the potentially riskiest foods in terms of the potential for illness. And you're probably saying, well, how does milk from a cow get contaminated with germs? Actually, there's a number of ways. Germs from the animal's poo can actually get into the milk and contaminate the milk. Germs from the animal's skin can get into the milk. Germs from the environment that the cow is in, the barn, all that kind of stuff from other animals can get into the milk. Sometimes cows and other animals can have infections. They can have disease. Also, there are things like insects, rodents, other small animals can kind of fly or plop into the milk. There are many different ways. There are plenty other ways too. I know many of you might wonder, well, what if the conditions that the cow is in are completely sanitary? Does that change things? I'm going to answer that question, so don't go anywhere. But anyway, back to the idea of pasteurization. Okay, so pasteurization really is this idea of heating the milk to a high enough temperature for a long enough time to kill harmful germs. Super important. Pasteurized milk really is milk that has gone through this process. And for good reason, right? For all the reasons I just said. I mean, germs can come literally from anywhere. And this is not something we've been doing forever. This really, actually in the United States, really began around the 1920s, not that long ago. It became a lot more popular by the 1950s as a way to reduce contamination and human illnesses. And the thing about it is we realized, pasteurizing milk really led to decreased illness, which is what we want. The other thing you have to keep in mind is that, it's not just like say one person saying that pasteurization is a good thing. I mean, we're talking about multiple organizations, physicians, epidemiologists, the CDC, the FDA, the American Academy of Pediatrics. I mean, so many veterinarians organizations, right? So many of us do believe in pasteurization, all right, for the reason that we talked about. And the next question might be, well, how sick could you actually be? Like how sick really could germs in raw milk really make you? Well, the thing about it is, I mean, people could have anything from like mild illness, diarrhea, etc., to stomach cramping, vomiting. Some people actually could develop actually a life-threatening illness, could even risk organ shutdown, other things, if it's a severe enough infection. Guys, really, these types of infections actually can land people in the hospital quite easily if you come across the right type of germ that can cause these infections from the raw milk, okay? So this is a thing. A lot of people are saying, okay, that's pasteurization, but the thing about it is raw milk has more nutrients, and you need the nutrients from the raw milk, not the pasteurized milk. I'm going to address that because the nutritional piece is, I think, a lot of the reasons why people who are pushing for raw milk actually push for it. But let me start with answering a few other questions that the CDC really answers nicely on their website, right? Let's say you're wondering about raw milk and you're saying, well, Dr. Jen, what about if the raw milk is just handled and prepared properly? Like, won't that deal with the germs? The problem is that, yeah, it may help, but it's not foolproof, right? I mean, you can use good safety practices, but like you may not be able to affect the germs that are on the cow and the germs that are in the cow's poo that gets into the milk, right? You may be doing as much as you can, but you can't necessarily do everything. And then going on to the nutritional benefits, right? The CDC says, and I think this is awesome, that most of the nutritional benefits of drinking milk are available from pasteurized milk without the risk of disease that comes with drinking raw milk. Which is awesome. And with regards to like enzymes and nutrients, because some people say, hey, raw milk has more enzymes and nutrients than pasteurized milk. The CDC also says that multiple studies have shown that pasteurization does not significantly affect the nutritional quality of milk. Okay. We don't have any evidence that, that shows a nutritional benefit from drinking raw milk. And once again, you're getting a ton of risk. Okay. Now, continuing along this path, because these are really good questions that people ask. Okay, so another question people may have is they say, well, okay, well, isn't raw milk a good source of beneficial bacteria? All right, doesn't it have good bacteria? Well, the truth is raw milk contains bacteria. Some of it's going to be good, some of it's going to be harmful. The problem, though, is that you may get the harmful bacteria instead of the good bacteria, or the harmful bacteria may outweigh the good bacteria. And remember, the harmful bacteria that can come in substances like raw milk can be really, really harmful, can land you into the hospital, can make you super, super sick, could potentially risk your life. Now, it doesn't have to, but it might. And so here we're talking about risk versus benefit. Why take the risk of trying to get good bacteria from a substance that could actually make you very sick? There are other ways to get good bacteria in your diet. And this is another question that the CDC answers that I love. You know, some people might say, well, look, I know people, they drink raw milk. They've been doing it for years. They've never gotten sick. Okay, what's the deal with that? This is the thing. I mean, the presence of these germs and how they affect people, honestly, is pretty unpredictable. But do you really want to play Russian roulette with this? Guys, the illnesses that you can get from drinking raw milk can be quite severe. Why take the chance, especially when, as I just talked about, according to the CDC, the nutritional benefit is not necessarily inferior. And in fact, you can get relatively equivalent benefits, according to the CDC, by drinking pasteurized milk, the safe milk. Okay, guys, you know, what it really comes down to, and this is sort of the bottom line, is that pasteurization really is the best way to get rid of harmful germs in milk. Okay, this is the process that we regularly use in the United States. Also, keep in mind that people who are going to be at highest risk for illness from bacteria or other harmful germs in raw milk would be young people, people with underlying conditions, people who are over the age of 65 and things like that, okay? Remember also that you can't always rely on other sources. You may have the best farmer who tests the raw milk. You may get your raw milk from a place that only deals with certain cows, who only eat certain food on certain farms in certain places. But the thing about it, none of these things are entirely foolproof, okay? Even despite the best efforts from farmers, from an environment that an animal lives, the type of meal and feed that a cow gets, and things like that, you know, despite the best things, still outbreaks of illness linked to raw milk can happen, okay? You've got to keep that in mind. And this is the thing. The same thing applies to organic. People might say, well, mine is organic, so it's better. No, not necessarily. You know, germs can happen in raw milk, regardless of whether it's organic or not. And again, this is not a criticism to farmers, by the way, or necessarily a criticism to cows. Cows, I'm not criticizing it. What I'm saying is that there's just a lot of variables that are involved that are oftentimes you just can't control for them all. So this is the thing. This is why we go back to the idea of that, yes, there may be certain environments that may reduce the risk, but it's still not as safe as drinking pasteurized milk. And I really do believe in this. I do believe this is a public health message. I understand people wanting to be as healthy as possible and getting as much nutrients as possible. And I think that that's an awesome thing. I love it when people want to be healthy. But as part of like getting nutrients, which we also have determined here that you can get, and you do get nutrients from pasteurized milk. The other thing about sort of, you know, getting nutrients, stuff like that, is also being safe. And the way that we're safe with milk in this country is by pasteurizing our milk, okay? So once again, this is not an affront against farmers or even cows or farms or feed or anything like that. It's just the environment that cows are in. And the fact that if the milk is not pasteurized, there always is a chance that harmful bacteria could be contaminating the raw milk and could get into your system and cause major illness. This is really, really, really important. Please keep this in mind and remember this when you're making decisions for yourself and your family. You know, remember that you can still get really, really great nutrients, enzymes, all that good stuff from pasteurized milk. You don't need to drink raw milk to do that. And you especially don't need to take the risk that raw milk presents to do that. So let me know what you guys do. Let me know what you think as well. I hope this is helpful. I hope this was helpful information for you. Just check out the CDC site. Google raw milk CDC. They got a lot of really interesting information that I think could be very helpful for you. Let me know what you think. Please share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it. I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, practicing family physician, on-air health expert and video creator. I do daily videos and all sorts of stuff on Facebook. Please like and follow my page on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell for updates. I'm on TikTok and Instagram at Dr. Jen Caudle. Please sign up for my free health newsletter at drjencaudle.com. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen. Love y'all.